Cool. We are recording Yoga Playground Thursday. Welcome, welcome. Tiffany, nice to have you here. So let's get started. Yeah, Thursdays we've been starting on the back for whatever reason. It just feels right. It's kind of gloomy today too, so it feels good. Can everyone hear me okay? Thumbs up. Sweet, thank you. I'm gonna mute all. Sweet. Okay. So we'll come to lying on the back. We'll bend the knees so that the feet are flat. You can bring your feet as wide as your mat so that the knees can just boop, fall in and lean on each other. Start to take control of your breath here, making the inhales and the exhales just a little bit longer. Starting to drop in a little bit. You can close the eyes here, and as you're breathing, especially down into that belly region, just kind of do a quick body scan. You can start down at the toes, see how the feet are feeling, the ankles. How are your knees today? Have they been bugging you lately? Maybe the hips. Going up to the low back region. And continuing to scan upwards into kind of the upper and middle back. The shoulders. Moving out to the elbows. To the wrists. So kind of we're taking the mind's eye and kind of scanning through those parts of the body. Moving up towards the neck. Some of us might be feeling tight into the neck. Good. See if you can make your in-breath and your exhale even longer. Really take your time with it. You can even pause between the two parts of the breath. So you take your full inhale. And you wait a few moments before you let your air out. And again, we can pause here at the bottom of the breath, feeling the stillness before we get that sense of air hunger before we take our next inhale. Nice. Good. Bring the feet hip distance apart. Knees open up so that we've got nice parallel legs here. We're going to continue with the breath, this time with our bridging action. So as you inhale, arms reach up, hips lift up high. Exhale, lower that down. Inhale. Big lift here, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, lower it all down. If you're a little bit more familiar with this, you can start to work on peeling the spine up off of the mat. A couple more here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one here. In breath. Nice. Let's roll over to the right side. The knees will stay bent. Arms reach out in front of you. If you have something nearby to lift your head up, I'm going to use my block here. If you have a pillow, a floofy pup. That might work as well. Arms reach out as we inhale. We're going to open up. These are our book openers here. And then we'll exhale, close it down. So you can stay with that variation. It's nice. A little bit more advanced, a little more work through the shoulder. We take the inhale, except now we're drawing the fingertips up and overhead. So both variations land you in this kind of spinal twist here. The only thing that's different is the path that we take to get there. Choose your path. Take your time with it. No need to rush. If you try a variation and it ends up not feeling great in your body, you can always go back to where we started. You're not committed to that variation if you try it out and it doesn't feel like it works for you. Good. Let's roll over to the other side. Might be a little lighter there. So we're on to our left side here. Again, propping the head up if needed. Arms out to a T. We use that in-breath to open all the way up. Feeling if there's any difference between the right side and the left side. Maybe you prefer that finger drawing up and overhead. Good. One or two more of these. Excellent. Now, as you finish your final rotation there, let's roll onto the back again. Since we're back lying, we'll practice a little bit of our dead bug, and that's to start to understand how we can truly brace through the trunk, right? So we can make all of our core work a little bit more potent. So we're going to bring the feet up into the air. The thighs themselves are straight vertical. Shins are parallel with the floor here. Arms are going to reach up to the sky. The first thing that we're going to do here is pin the belly button down into the floor. So there's a flattening of that low back. If you have a lot of space under there, try to create less space. Some of you may actually be able to push that low back all the way to the floor. And the harder you push, the more you're going to feel your belly muscles working here. Let's just take a few breaths. We're going to inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to breathe everything out all the way to empty. So you're going to press that navel down towards the floor. Ooh. Taking that in-breath whenever you need to. And exhaling here. Just using the breath and feeling how the muscles that push air out are also working with these trunk muscles to keep that low back flattened towards the floor. Some of our body positions won't allow us to flatten all the way, so I won't use that blanket statement, but notice what it feels like here. So there's a couple ways that we can make this more challenging. The first one is just going to be breath driven. So when we push all of that air out, hold the breath. And in that space of you holding your breath at empty, we're really tightening that canister. That corset is tightening around the waist there. Okay. Nice. Let's bring the knees into the chest, hug them in tight. We'll take the knees open wide, and we'll give those ankles nice, slow circles, as big as you can. Wow. And reverse direction there. See if you can feel muscles of the calf, the lower leg, working as you circle that ankle around. If you're just kind of whipping your feet into circles and you're not feeling a lot of muscular action, slow it way down. Make them bigger. Make it challenging for yourself. A lot of this is your own internal experience. Good. Let's come back to our dead bug position. So the thighs go back to vertical, shins come back to parallel. So we got this nice 90-degree angle in the knees here. So the arms reach up again, and as always in our dead bug, we're pressing that navel down towards the floor. So here we're going to inhale. On the exhale, the whole time that we're exhaling, that knee will stay bent, that heel touches the floor, and when it comes down to the floor, ooh, it's like I'm landing on an eggshell, but I'm not cracking the eggshell. And then we inhale, bring it back up. You could actually hear the strain in my voice if we're breathing out, and we're being honest and keeping that navel pressed towards the floor. Oh, by the time that heel touches the ground, we're really working through the trunk. Now, if you're just doing this and you can kind of hear that my effort is much less, I'm just kind of haphazardly lowering my heels to the floor. I'm not worrying about exhaling and keeping my low back pinned. It's going to be a lot easier. So if you're doing these and you're feeling like it's not a lot of work at all, consider breathing out more air and really trying to flatten that low back. Good. We're alternating here. We're going to do about 5 on each side. I have no idea where we are here. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can try 1 or 2 reps where that leg straightens and lowers. Not at the cost of losing that low back. Okay? So be honest with yourself. Find a regression that is challenging but controllable for you. Look, I did a finger wag. Wow. I don't usually finger wag at my students, but hey, you know, there's a first for everything. Nice. And when you are even, we will bring the knees back into the chest here. You can try a couple more. Laura's, your camera is tilted, and it looks like you're doing these stuck to a wall. Your video is vertical instead of horizontal. That's too funny. Yeah. Ah! And she's gone. She lost it. That's how Spider-Man does yoga, vertically on a wall there. All right, so enough of this. You got your knees into the chest. We can roll up and down. We'll roll up to seated here, and we're going to come on to all fours. Nice. So we're going to roll around the wrists here. We're just getting a little bit of weight into the wrists. As we're doing this, fingers are spread wide. Fingertips are grabbing into the ground. See if you can create a little whiteness under the fingernails. Changing directions here. Good. Let's go to the backs of the palms. Fingertips are going to face in towards each other. Right, here we go. And we're going to press down into the floor. Here's my imaginary floor. A lot of you will start with bent elbows, but over time, you'll be able to straighten the arms. Okay. And same thing, just like we were pushing down into the floor with the fingertips, we're going to push down into the floor as if our hand is like a door on a hinge. We're going to press down. So we're going to feel some more muscular action through the wrist extensors. These muscles, as they shorten, they pull us into extension of the wrist and the fingers. Okay? Good. Nice. Good. Let's come out of this here. Shake out the wrist. We're going to grab, open, grab, open. In fact, let's take that position overhead, right? So you can sit on your heels, tops of the feet or heels. We're going to reach arms up. We're going to open the palms towards the ceiling and close into a fist, roll the knuckles forward. We're just going to go through this a couple times, really feeling how the muscles of the forearms start to burn a little bit here. A little bonus cue, if you're a little bit more connected with your body, as the arms reach up, ribs are heavy. Good. Woo! We start to feel that burning pretty quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Shake that bad boy out. Cool. All right, let's come into our downward facing dog. Toes curl under. We send the hips up into the air, and we can pedal the feet out here. Nice. We got fingers really spread here, grabbing into the floor. Chest is reaching towards the thighs. Good. Inhale, shift forward to a plank position. And just hold here. Feel the strength of pushing the floor away. See if you can spread the shoulder blades across the back as much as possible. Give that tush a little bit of a squeeze. Squeeze the thighs. Feel the strongest, most integrated plank you've ever done. Good. Lower the knees down. Chest and chin come down between the hands. On your inhale, pull everything forward. The belly's going to flatten. Chest lifts up for a cobra. And exhale. Downward facing dog. We'll do 2 more of those so you can start to kind of feel the flow of a vinyasa. If you know full vinyasa with chaturanga, instead of knees, chest, chin, feel free to do that as well. So 2 more times here. We're going to inhale forward to our plank position. Exhale to lower the knees first, then chest and chin. Butt stays up in the air. Inhale, slide it forward and up. Cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Just a couple of breaths here before we do this one more time. Good. Breathe in. Let's flatten out into our plank. Breathe out. Lower the knees first in chest and chin. Inhale, come into our cobra. Belly is flat, but the chest is tall. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. So we're going to take the feet, start to walk them towards the top of the mat. We're in that forward fold, top of the mat. Let everything just dangle heavy here. Let's bring the hands, slide them to the shins. We're going to lift up halfway. We're looking to straighten the spine here. Exhale, deepen into your fold. Let's inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, arms alongside the body. Nice. Shaking everything out there. So we're going to do a little bit more work through the trunk here before we go into some more vinyasas. We're going to do a lumbar car. So we're going to imagine that the waist, and I'll break this down. I just want to show you what it's going to look like. I'll do it really fast, but we're going to move through this slowly. We're imagining that everything from the waist down is frozen. So I'm going to squeeze the heck out of my legs and my butt. I'm going to cross the arms. Again, I'm doing this really, really fast. We're going to do this a lot more slowly in just a moment. So we're going to round down. We're going to go around the world with it. I went about 3 times faster than what we're going to do. But we're going to go in both directions here, okay? So let's get our legs squeezed together. Feet together, legs together. Squeeze the thighs. Give the tush a really tight squeeze. Arms are going to come across the chest here. We're going to tuck the chin, roll forward.
Don't let your butt stick back here, okay? We're going to get to a point where if you roll forward any further, you might fall over your toes. So feel how that weight shifts forward. Now, staying as tight as you can, we're going to start to take the spine into a lateral position over to the right. So we're going to start clockwise, go all the way around. I'm trying to touch my right shoulder to the floor. And as we swing around, that chest bone is going to start to aim up towards the sky. So you can see my position here. I'm leaned back a little bit. If there's any pain, we just make a smaller circle. Now I'm way back here, starting to swing over to the left side. Now my left shoulder is aiming towards the floor. Start to chuck that chin down again. And we find ourselves having come all the way around. We're going to reverse the direction here. So we start to roll towards our left. Like I'm aiming my left shoulder to the floor. And we end up in this side bend here. Now as we're coming around, chest gets taller. I'm aiming my sternum to the ceiling. My abs are working a lot, you can hear, to keep me from falling over backwards. Keep squeezing those legs. We're swinging around to the right side. Whew. And we finish there. Good. Coming back up to standing. We call those our lumbar CARs. It's the same when we do the hip CARs. It's the same when we do the ankle circles. It's taking segments of the body, going through that range of motion as much as your body can handle. So we start to build strength and awareness in those positions. Cool, let's get back to flowing. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we lift halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees to plant the hands. You can hop it back or you can just step back into plank like I'm going to do. That knees, chest, chin variation is always available. If you want to take your full vinyasa, you can. As you inhale, slide it up into cobra or up dog if you were taking the more full approach. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg reaches up into the air. Don't kick your bookshelf if there's one behind you. We're going to straighten the leg, really point the toe. Nice. Reaching, reaching, reaching. We're going to do some knee tucks here, straight up the middle. So we're going to bring knee to nose. Let's inhale first. As you exhale, draw that bent knee forward towards your nose. Really push off the back toes to get as close as you can. We inhale to send it up and back. We've got 5 of these, and then we're going to land it. Exhale for number 2, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Last one here, make it as high up as you can go so you can try to land that foot right between the hands as close as you can. If you don't quite get all the way there, that's fine. You can use your hand to get you the rest of the way up. Cool. Let's inhale coming into our high lunge. Find that steadiness in your breath. Even me, I was starting to feel a little panty, but we can bring that conscious breathing into effect. Slow things down. Good. So as we take an in-breath here, we're going to reach a little taller through the hands. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the elbows like we're pulling back and down. As we do that, the back knee is going to bend as well. Good. Inhale, straighten the back leg and the arms reach tall. Exhale. In breath, reach up. We got 4 of these. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to land that back knee on the ground.
hands come down, shift hips up and back. All right, here's a great place if you have blocks or something to bring the floor up to you. You can do that here. Good. I like to point and flex the toe. Good. Rebend into that front leg. We're in our kind of our low lunge, not quite a runner's lunge here. And we're going to drop that back heel so that the inner arch comes to the floor as we walk our hands off to the left. Now the right foot and knee are still pointing straight down the front of the mat. We've just taken our body position over to the side. So you can see if I change my angle here, I've actually gone from this position to knee should still stay forward. I'm coming around. Nice. So I'm trying to step down into the floor. Huge stretch through the inner groin. Some of you may even enjoy taking the hands, fingertips down, and pressing that knee away. The knee away, the knee away, the knee away, the knee away. In my yoga, my stretchy yoga, my teacher sings to us. All right, nice. Cool little hip opener here. And we'll walk those hands back to the front of the mat. And this time as we straighten the leg, you can choose to bring that back leg off and come into this position. Otherwise, we're just going to come one more time into this kind of half split. Front leg straightens a little bit or a lot. Some of you might want a little bit of a deeper variation. Good. Beautiful. Nice. Bend the knees if you need to lower your hands to the floor. We're going to step that right foot back to meet the left. Hold into your plank. Bring your right hand to the center of the mat. We're going to come into our side plank. So not up here in front of your head, but really get it under you. We start to roll the hips open. You can stack the feet on top of each other. You can stack your back leg behind your front leg, and we can reach up here. Nice. See if you can squeeze this lat muscle of your back here to help support the shoulder in this hold. If you want to ramp it up, you can lift that top leg. If your balance feels secure, you can come into kind of this start plank here. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the left hand down. You can meet us in down dog. You can cycle through a vinyasa if you'd like. Child's pose as a resting pose is always an option. Anytime you need to take a rest, you can. Slow that breath down. Good. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat again. You can step forward, tip toes, or you can hop forward. It's up to you. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Folding on the exhale. We inhale, come all the way up, arms tall. And exhale, arms alongside the body. Good. So that lumbar car that we did, we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to bring legs together, feet together, legs together, really squeezing in tight. If you have a yoga block, you can try this, squeezing into something. Even a pillow or a stuffed pickle will work here so that you have a little bit more feedback, okay? I wouldn't try this with small children or animals. You may crush them to death. So Let's keep everybody and everything alive today. Hands across the chest, squeezing into your block, your butt, everything. We're going to curl forward. Think of like a candy cane. I want to round down. I don't want to stick my tush back. Your body will want to do that naturally. But we're going to tuck the chin really round forward until you feel like maybe you would fall over your tippy toes. That's how you know you're in good spinal flexion. We're going to roll over to the right. So we get this kind of lateral side bend over to the right. See if you can make an even bigger circle this time. We're slowly coming around. We're past 3 o'clock position. We're heading to the 6 o'clock position where that chest is aiming straight up towards the sky. You can hear the strain in my voice. This is not a walk in the park. It's a lot of abs that hold us there. We're in that side bend position. We roll all the way down and around. Good. Let's reverse the direction. So now we go from 12 o'clock. We're going to the 9 o'clock position, which is a left side bend. Good. Big circle. Now we're going from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And here I'll keep talking so you can hear. My abs are working a lot to keep me from falling over backwards. When I go over from the 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we're in that right side bend and finish with our little candy cane curl. I'm going to bring it up to standing and shake that all out. You can set that block aside or whatever you may have been clamping, vice gripping in between those thighs there. Good. Let's do the other side. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, even bigger fold. Lifting halfway up, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. You can hop it or step it back into your plank. You can flow through your vinyasa of choice. I'm doing a chaturanga up dog, down dog. Might be different for you. Breathing. See if you feel a difference here between the left and the right side. Good. Left leg reaches up into the air. Straight leg. Point the toe. Feel the strength between the thighs and the glutes. All right, 5 knee tucks. 5 knee to nose, I should say. So we take an in-breath, get long. Exhale, bend the knee, shift it forward, bring it to the nose. In-breath sends that leg up and back. Exhale, draw it forward. Use that back foot to really press off the toes to get you that last 5% of distance. Exhale, number 3. Inhale, exhale for 4. Good, last one here. Try to come up as far as you can. See if you can step that foot between the hands there. Okay, we're going to come up into our high lunge. Arms reaching tall. Settling that breath before we do our 4 little elbow and knee bend here. So again, I'm going to turn so you can kind of just see what's happening through my elbows. You don't have to do that. We're going to turn the thumbs backwards. Start to bend the elbows, but I'm pulling them backwards so I feel that work high up in my upper back. As the elbows bend, the back knee bends as well. Good. Try to get as close to the floor as you can. Inhale, straighten the back leg only and the arms. Exhale. 2 more of these. These should not feel easy. 1 more. Hold. 3, 2. Back knee drops down to the floor. Bring the hands down. Shift the hips back. So we get a straightening out of that front leg. It doesn't have to be completely straight. If your hands are on the ground, you can only get to about here. As long as we feel this nice hamstring stretch, we got it. You're good. But some of us can straighten. It'll take time.
And if you have blocks, that might be enough of a lift where you can get that straightening out. Now, if you're already there, if you're already hands on the ground, leg totally straight, to take this further, we start to lift the chest. Straightening the spine will add to this stretch pretty significantly, actually. Good. And we're rebending into that front knee, that left knee. Okay, I'm going to turn here so that you can see me this time. Back heel drops inward so that the inner arch flattens. And it's already going to kind of turn the hips towards the right side of the room, or the right side of your mat. So as that heel drops inward, walk your hands to just off of the right edge of your mat. And again, that left knee is going to want to come with you. Open it out. You can even use your hand to push that away. I like dropping the shoulder there. Feels quite nice. Nice. Really sinking down, and imagine there's a scale under that left foot. Pressing down into that scale to add another 5 pounds or so. Good. Hands coming back to center. One more time, we'll straighten that front leg, either with the back knee down, or this time you can take it with the back knee up. Okay, it's up to you, however much you need. Well, my leg is quivering in this position. It's doing its own little torque dance. Sweet. So, let's bend the knee so that we can flatten the hands at the top of the mat. Left foot steps back into our plank. We're setting up for our side plank on the left side. Left hand comes into the center of your mat. We start to stack the feet. Hand can come down. If you need your foot as like a little kickstand here, I didn't mention that on the other side. Totally fine. Not easy here. If we're feeling it all in the top of the shoulder, see if you can squeeze into this lat muscle right under your armpit in the back of your body here. Some of you taking it one step further, opening up that leg. This is tough, both balance-wise and strength of the outer hip of your left hip that's holding all of your weight up. You don't have this top leg assisting you. 3, 2, 1. Lower the foot, lower the hand. You can meet us in downward facing dog. You can flow through a vinyasa. And then from down dog, let's just drop the knees and feel a quick little child's pose. One more breath here. We're breathing in. No. Curl the toes under. Send the hips up, downward facing dog. Right leg up into the air. And as we exhale, bend the knees, step it forward. Let's come into our warrior 2. Let me do it from this side. Hands windmill up. Arms are out to a T. Holding here. Feeling the booty squeeze. Maybe you get a little bit lower here. Let's flip the palms. Reverse your warriors. Really reaching back. Feel the space that opens up in the waist. It's the waist space. Good. Let's bring it back up. Elbow's going to bend. We're going to tip over. Arms reach in line here. This is our extended side angle pose. Some of you can go a little bit deeper. You don't have to rest your elbow on your thigh. Some of you might be able to come down, maybe not all the way to the floor. You can always use a block. But instead of reaching up, see if you can reach in line with the body. You can see kind of this whole line that opens up. Good. Let's inhale. Coming back up again, straighten through that right leg. Exhale, reach way out there. When you can't reach any further, then we lower the hand. We're feeling our triangle pose. We're breathing here, feeling this stretch that comes all the way up the inner groin. You can stay here. There's an option to come into half moon from our triangle. Some of you may know it. All we need to do, and I'm going to use a block, makes things a little bit easier. We look forward, we bend into the right knee. That allows us to kind of plant our hand or our hand on block forward and then take a little launch off. Whoa. Hard to do when I'm looking at the camera and not the floor. So find a gaze point. Ay, good thing I have a bed here to catch me. Otherwise, I would have totally fallen on my ass there. This is optional. You don't have to do this one. Ay. And you know what? Some days it just ain't happening, like for me today. And that's okay. I can't hold myself up. So, you know what? I'm just going to go back to triangle because that's how we roll. We don't always have to do the hardest thing for it to be beneficial for us. Good, good, good. All right, let's look down at the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to re-bend into that right knee, bring the hands to the floor, step into your plank. Take an optional vinyasa here. A lot of vinyasas today. Good. Let's round out the left side, shall we? Probably feel a difference here between the right leg and hip versus the left. If not, see if you can bring some attention there. See what that feels like. Good. Left leg up into the air. Exhale, bend the knees, step it forward. We're going to windmill the hands up. Warrior two. Except I'm going to change directions so you don't see my backside. Arms are to a T. We're not here for too long because we're going to flip our hands, reverse our warrior. Good. Feel as you reach those fingertips further back, you get more opening out of the waistline here. We'll inhale, bring it back upright. Bend the elbow, tip the body over to the side. The base stays the same. Really, the legs haven't changed since we set them up for our warrior two. Just so you can use that as a reference here. We can stay in this position. Some of you maybe went a little bit deeper, dropping this time that left hand towards the floor or a block. And we can see this straight line from my fingertips all the way down to the edge of my right foot. Good. One more breath. And we exhale. Good. Let's inhale to rise up. Straighten that left leg. Woo, that felt good. Exhale, reach way out. Our triangle's where we're coming, so I'm going to grab my block that I didn't bring with me. And then that hand can land on a block or a shin. Just try to avoid right on the knee. That joint does not like to bend that way. We're breathing here. Trying to open that chest towards the sky. Good. Some of you may have tried the half moon. I didn't see the screen last time, but if you went for it, All we're going to do to set up for it is bend into the left knee. We're looking out and we're going to place our hand or our hand with block about 6 to 8 inches out in front of that toe. Then as we shift forward, I'm going to use my bookshelf here. We can lift that leg. All right, that's just so I don't hit it. And now I can come into the balance. Right. Then you can start to work on balancing. But today ain't my day to half moon, and it may not be yours either. That's totally fine. As we do balance stuff, you'll find that some days you're really good at balancing, other days it's like you're starting back at square one. Good. If you're in half moon, we'll come back into our triangle. We'll look down at the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're going to rebend and cycle through a vinyasa of your choice. I'm just going to go right back to down dog. I'm going to skip the vinyasa so that you don't feel like you have to do every single one that I tell you to do, because this is your practice. I skip vinyasas all the time in public classes. It's all good. Even in my own class, I'll skip vinyasas. I think it's important to know, like, hey, it's your body. You might not have a lot of energy, so you don't have to do all of them. Cool. One more time. We're going to go back to the top of the mat. You can hop it forward. You can tiptoe it forward. Half lift on the in-breath. Folding, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up, arms tall. And exhale, arms alongside the body. So we're going to do a little bit of single leg stuff, and with the leg up and out. If you have a strap, it can be handy. Let me grab mine just to demo. Good thing I've got it right here on call. We're going to bring the right knee up into the chest. Now, some of you can actually grab for the toe and straighten that leg out. But if you have a strap, you can grab it around and bring that leg off to the side. I'm going to come at a 45-degree angle here. Nice. Now, if you have a strap, what's nice is it makes the arms a little bit longer. So if you're in a strap and you're kind of rounded forward to get there, give yourself a little bit more room so that you can really look for that straight spine. And if you're by a bed, I see 2 or 3 of you are, you totally can just leg up, propped up on the bed. You know, why not? We don't always have beds and couches in our yoga class here. So I'm going to demo with the strap, since some of you I see have one there, which is awesome. Nice. Now we're going to take both ends of the strap into the right hand so that you can start to open that leg off to the side. Balance pose. Try to stand up a little bit taller. Whoa! If you need to grab hold of something for your balance, that's fine. Nice. Subu, see if you can turn those toes up towards the ceiling a little bit more. There we go. That external rotation of the hip might give you a little bit more of a stretch. Good. Leg's going to come back to center here. Whether you have a strap or not, we're going to let go. We're going to hold that leg up. Arms reach tall for 5. Woo! A little bit higher if you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Shake it out. Whew. Yikes. Feeling that for sure. Okay. We're going to do that on the other side. So strap if you need it. You can also use like a belt or a, if you have a belt to a robe, something like that. T-shirt, an old T-shirt you don't want to use. That can be handy as well. So we're going to plant into the right foot. Left knee comes into the chest. Now some of you can grab the big toe and you don't even need the strap. But if you need that extra little distance, that strap in hand will be helpful. And again, we want to strive to get a nice tall body position there. Yeah. Good. Push down through the floor. Wonderful. So let's take both ends of the strap into the left hand. I'm going to wrap mine around so that I can, whoa. Yeah, balance is not on for me today. I'm going to use my desk so that I can get the benefits of the stretch without being limited by my shitty balance today. And it just is what it is, you know. Some days are a little bit better than others. And I'm not using a lot of help here. So whatever you're near, a wall, a couch, a chair, use it to your advantage. Good, let's come back to center. Ditch the strap, ditch the toe. Whoop. We're gonna hold that leg up, reach the arms tall. 5, 4, ooh, get a little higher in the lift. 3, 2, 1, bend the knee. Ooh. Shake that out. Good. We're going to lower down to the floor. We're going to come into our seated position. I could have gotten there by flowing, but nah. Let's come into our pigeon, or more specifically our modified pigeon, which comes out of our 90-90 shape. So we start with heels pretty wide open, and then you can drop the left knee in so that we have this kind of 90 degrees in the right leg, 90 degrees in the back leg. From here, all we're doing is rotating that sternum around so that it's in line with the thigh, and we're just going to hinge forward. A couple of options that are more subtle. You won't even see them happening on my screen, so you don't even have to worry about looking up and seeing what's going on. If you push down into the floor with the knee, we feel some tension, a dial up, and then you can dial that back down. So we're just kind of pressing and releasing, feeling some strength in those muscular tissues. And you may just want that super passive hip stretch, and that's great. It'll feel nice in the moment, but if we're looking for lasting changes in your range of motion, we need to get into these end range positions and produce a little bit of force of our own internal muscular squeezing that happens. Nice. Let's come up from here. We're going to transition over to the other side. So I'm going to do it a little more of the challenging way. You can use your hands behind you and switch. I'm going to make it a little harder on myself, and I invite you to do the same if you want. We're going to reach hands forward, flex the toes, and actively transition over to the left side. Then we can land the hands. Okay? Okay? Okay. Good talk. We're hinging. And again, you can go full passive, just sinking into this, letting gravity do its thing. And that feels nice. Is it going to build lasting range of motion through the hip? Not necessarily. For that, we need to do a little bit more work, right? We reap what we sow. So we need to apply a little bit of downward pressure as if there's a bug under my knee that I'm trying to really squish down into the mat. And you can just kind of, like a dimmer switch, you're dimming up and you're turning it down. You're dimming up and you're turning down. You can't even see anything if you're watching my video because it's all happening within this outer left hip. And so that's kind of what you should be feeling for. If you press that knee down into the floor, the same place that we're feeling this stretch in the outer hip, those muscles are going to work a little bit harder and then a little bit softer. We're also training the nervous system when we do that. Nice. Let's come on up from here. Let's come back to our center position. We're going to bring soles of the feet together.
I'm going to do 2 variations here. First, let's bring the heels in nice and close. We're just going to do 2 different angles. You can grab the big toes, you can grab the feet. We're going to inhale nice and tall, and exhale, hinging forward. See if you can keep your spine a little straighter. And again, we can enjoy the passive stretch. Nothing wrong with it, but if we want more access to external rotation or more open hips, we've got to do some work. So we have to, you can see my knees are going to actively push down towards the floor. I'm not using my elbows to create that action. Some people like to kind of push down. And again, that's a passive stretch. It may feel nice. It's good after a workout. But if we're training to improve those ranges, we have to put in some work. So I'm going to use my active hips to press the knees down towards the floor. And I feel my butt squeeze in a little bit tighter to do that. And again, these are all subtle cues. You may not really see them if you're watching the video, but if you're doing them in your own body, you'll be able to feel them for sure. Or begin to feel them. Good. Let's come up right here. We're going to take those heels out a little further away from the body. So now we have more of an open diamond shape. Just a little bit of a different angle through the hip. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale. Hinge forward. Here you can. Let's allow that rounding to take place. Maybe it allows you to fold a little bit deeper here. So I'm going to just turn my angle so you can see the difference. Before we had the heels in nice and close, the straight spine. Now the heels are out in front, and I'm really kind of sinking into it. Just a different angle through the hip. Let's come up right here. We're going to do our twist seated today, and then we'll lie back into Shavasana. So we're going to keep that left knee bent. In fact, you can draw that heel in towards your right hip, left heel towards the right hip. And we're going to take that right foot up and over. Okay. Nice. I'm trying to flatten my right foot to the floor, which will pull the knee up to a little bit more of a vertical position. Inhale, reach up through that left hand. As you exhale, we're going to either wrap around the thigh here, the thigh and the knee, or you can go a little further and hook that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Yep. And so once you're here, if you try to slide your left shoulder blade into the midline, you feel that elbow pushes into the knee, and it'll give you a little bit more rotation. Nice. Unwind out of that position. We're going to switch the legs here. So we'll straighten that right leg, straighten the left leg. We're going to bend that right knee, bring the right heel towards the left hip. Left leg goes up and over. Okay, I'm going to kind of settle into my hips, feeling both sits bones on the ground. Right arm is going to reach up. Exhale. We're going to hook and twist. You can do that there, or if you were able to hook that elbow, that's going to just give you a little bit more leverage to go just a bit deeper into this rotation here. let's unwind here. And we're going to get ready for our final Shavasana, so you can lay the body down. Whatever you need to make this more comfortable, by all means. You may stack some pillows or rolled up blanket underneath the knees. That can be really nice here. Maybe you're just lying flat with the arms down alongside the body. It can be nice to cover the eyes as well. Just really drop into the experience. But we're going to take about 3 minutes here in our Shavasana to just let go. You can do that body scan again as you're lying there in silence and just notice what things feel like. So let's close the eyes. Let the body breathe as it wants to. And again, we'll take that scan, starting down at the toes. Moving up the feet to the ankles. We did some ankle circles today, so those might feel a bit more connected, alive. As we move up to the lower leg, the calves we're working to keep us balanced and stable in our single leg poses. The knees we're able to straighten and bend, hopefully without pain today. Move up to the thighs, working to keep us in those warrior positions. They got a stretch when we did our little lowers, our knee lowers. We're up to the hips. Those really got some loving today. The lumbar spine, the low back. Got a nice healthy dose of movement as we rolled the torso in a circle. The upper back working as we pulled the elbows down. Shoulders were strong, supporting you in your side planks and your straight planks. The elbows involved in those chaturangas. The wrists in downward facing dog. Just noticing these feelings. Take a nice long inhale. Fill all the way up. And start introducing really small movements through your body. Moving the fingers and toes. taking the arms up overhead. Really stretch the body long. Take a big breath in and exhale. We'll do that one more time. Big reach through the body. Big stretch. Inhale. Nice. We'll roll the body to one side. It helps to bring your knees into the chest. And I just want to thank all of you for coming. As always, it's really nice to see all of you continuing to show up. It's really nice to be able to teach these classes. So thank you. Namaste. And I'll be around here, as always, to answer any questions or